Zambia, a country shaped like a butterfly, with 8 neighbors in the heart of Africa, rich in copper and other extractives like gemstones, but also rich in forests, wildlife, arable fertile land, and very importantly, endowed with lots of water. Think of the mighty Zambezi and the Victoria Falls. Natural resources are the foundation of Zambia's economy, with copper production still dominating. But the country's engine is its people.
They are extremely rich in natural resources like water and forests and fertile land. And they have a climate that allows 3 harvests a year if you do irrigation farming. I mean, these are conditions heavenly.
Africa's second largest copper producer achieved middle-income country status in 2011 during a decade, 2004 to 2014, of impressive economic growth, averaging 7.4% per year. However, growth only benefited a small segment of the urban population. Zambia today ranks among the countries with highest level of inequality globally. 58% in 2011 of Zambia's 16.6 million people earn less than international poverty line of $1.90 per day, compared to 41% across sub-Saharan Africa, and 3/4 of the poor live in rural areas. Poverty in Zambia remains a rural phenomenon, and this CPF prioritizes the rural space.
The systematic country diagnostic showed us that the challenges on poverty reduction are in the rural space as a priority. And so we framed the entire CPF around that.
We have quite a number of developmental challenges, amongst them high poverty levels. We have high levels of unemployment. We have issues to do with inadequate infrastructure, and more specifically in sectors like education and health.
Investments in people, their skills, health, knowledge, and resilience is essential for growth and development. In 2018, Zambia stood amongst the countries with the lowest human capital index in the world. With current levels of education and health services in Zambia, a child born today will only be 40% as productive as they could be. The country's score is lower than the average for its region and its income group. 40 out of 100 children are stunted, and the learning adjusted years of schooling indicator is only 5.2 years, suggesting serious problems with learning outcomes. If not addressed, this poses a threat to the long-term development and well-being of Zambian people. Zambia's high population growth of 2.8% continues to strain public services and labor markets. And between 2015 and 2050, the working age population is expected to double. The challenge is about creating jobs and improving the skills of the workforce. The country's increasing population, coupled with its agriculture and natural resource exploitation practices, are accelerating land and natural resource degradation. An estimated 250,000 to 300,000 hectares of forests are cut down every year. Forests that are central to climate resilience and shared prosperity amongst the rural population. In 2017, the country's risk of debt distress was elevated from medium to high. The cost to maintain the debt poses a strong risk to achieving Zambia's development objectives to transform the country from a primarily product-dependent economy to a strong, diversified, middle-income country by 2030. But Zambia can overcome these challenges and achieve poverty reduction and shared prosperity by sustainably harnessing natural resources available in agriculture land, surrounding regional markets, and its growing young population and labor force. The World Bank Country Partnership Framework aims to support the government of Zambia to address the structural challenges for pro-poor growth and a clear focus on the rural areas.
If you look at the CPF, the areas that it tackles are very much in line with the 7th National Development Plan, and these are areas that will help government deal with some of the developmental challenges that I alluded to.
The relationship between Zambia and the World Bank goes as far back as before independence. The first transformational project that was done in Zambia was the Kariba Dam. The relationship is very broad-based and quite touching in terms of the lives of both the people that are poverty-stricken, but also the economy, trying to get it to go ahead.
Agriculture is the main source of livelihood of the poor and the anchor for a more diversified economy. Expand market opportunities for Zambian firms through increased economic integration with neighboring countries and an adequate rural road network. Reduce the infrastructure gap, increasing access to electricity and water and sanitation, particularly in rural areas. Support financial inclusion. Improve the delivery of basic health and education services, and increase the pro-poor focus of fiscal policy, such as specific interventions under social protection that are meant to further increase disadvantaged girls' participation in secondary education and poor women's livelihood opportunities. Help poor rural communities to be more climate resilient, and create a concrete plan to address the current debt situation through sufficient fiscal consolidation and reserves. This CPF reflects the World Bank's group commitment to work with the government of Zambia in pursuit of an inclusive path of high growth that benefits every Zambian, lifting the poor and employing the youth, and establishes them as a prosperous middle-income country.
As the World Bank Group, we support Zambia to overcome its triple challenges of poverty, inequality, and youth unemployment. This will require reducing regional disparities, substantially improving agricultural productivity, building human capital, and attracting more private investment.
If the CPF is approved, it will be a very good step forward, because it will then allow us to tap into World Bank resources to deal with some of the developmental challenges that I've already highlighted.
Pro-poor in Zambia means focusing on the rural space.